Hello, this is Kate, and this is your weekly tarot card reading. And I'm joined by my foster kitten. This is Gabby. She's moving around too fast. Now, Gabby is a little clingy today because her two siblings are getting their space surgeries, so they're away right now, so she's all on her own. So I'm going to be using the Dark Mansion Tarot for this week's reading, one of my favorite decks. Okay, so I'm just going to give these cards a little bit of a shuffle, and Gabby might interrupt this reading a few times, but she's climbing all over me, which isn't normal. Gabby, little girl, which isn't normal behavior for her. But I think she's just really anxious that her siblings are gone. All right, so I'm going to draw 3 cards. Each card is going to represent a portion of the upcoming week. And my intention with this reading is to get a snapshot of the week ahead and just kind of some new ideas, perspectives, and inspiration for the upcoming week. Okay, Gabby. I know she keeps bumping the microphone. Okay, so let's have a look at the first card. The first card is for Monday and Tuesday of the upcoming week. So here we have 5 of Swords. Interestingly, this guy's wearing a face mask, but he's got his nose hanging out the top, so he's incorrectly wearing it. What to say about the 5 of Swords? The 5 of Swords is a tricky card. It's a crappy card, I'm not gonna lie. And it's one that I quite often struggle with. So it shows, if you look in the background, there's a guy with 2 swords stabbed in the back, and this guy also has just 1 sword in the back. And we can only guess that the guy in the forefront did the stabbing, that he did the backstabbing. The 5 of Swords can come up when we really want to be right, when that is more important than anything else, being right. And I can definitely see a few examples of that, mostly in others, maybe not myself, but I'm certainly aware of a lot of people right now who are very righteous and think that they're in the right, and they're in a position to shame others who they feel are in the wrong. And I guess we all do that from time to time, I suppose. But the 5 of Swords really begs you to ask the question, am I on a track where, or am I overly fixated on the importance of being right? And, would you rather be right? Is that more important to you than any other thing in your life? Is that more important to you than empathy or connection or understanding or finding solutions or peace? Is being right, does that take precedence? So 5 of Swords is just really asking you to examine that and to see what kind of an effect that is having in your life right now. And I might come back to this card because it's a pretty powerful one, but I want to move on and see what the second card is. So this card is for the middle of the week, so like Wednesday, Thursday-ish. Here we have Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is definitely a more innocent and upbeat card than the 5 of Swords. The Page of Cups is a card of inspiration, emotion, and creativity. It's about really igniting your creative spirit, and we all have creativity within ourselves. We all have that creative spark or that creative spirit, even if you don't think of yourself as necessarily a creative person. So the Page of Cups is inviting you to activate this aspect of yourself. And this particular page, it looks like he's examining the cup, and I see that cup as representing a couple of things. I see it representing your emotions and your feelings. And I also see it as representing creativity and creative and artistic inspiration. So the middle of the week is a good time to check in with yourself and really pay attention to your feelings instead of, sweeping them under the rug or trying to numb them or ignore them or deny them. Really looking at your feelings without judgment, just seeing what's there, what's going on. And it's almost like when you give yourself the gift of doing that, of just, sitting with your emotions in a judgment-free way, something gets freed up within you. So when you can admit to yourself how you're feeling without condemning yourself, a certain creativity or artistic flow is freed up. And what you do with that freed up creativity is up to you. This foster kitty's got sharp claws and she's climbing my back again. So that's what I'm getting with the Page of Cups. And again, I feel like this is such a different energy from the first card. The first card, I feel like there is a certain sinisterness about it in a way. There's a certain tension with the first card that with the second card, there's more innocence. But oh no, girl. This little kitty really wants to play with the camera. Okay. Come back on my lap. So let's have a look at the last card. This is the card for the end of the week. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I'm so glad we have a Minor Arcana card. Let me just zoom in a little here. And we have the High Priestess. All right. So the High Priestess is a really powerful card. And she brings a lot of positive messages as well. A lot of kind of exciting, juicy, interesting messages. Okay, so what does the High Priestess mean for us? So the High Priestess, I often see her as encouraging us to go inward and begin to explore the inner realms. Now, there was a hint of this in the Page of Cups, which was about kind of examining your feelings or sitting with your feelings and noticing what they are. The High Priestess takes that a step further. She brings more of a spiritual and mystical element to that step. So the High Priestess, in a way, she kind of sits at the gates. She guards the gates that open up into your inner world. So we all are familiar with the outer world, which is the world we see around us and the people and the places and the things and the life path that we're on. And the things that dominate the outer world are things like physical objects, money, food, work, all those kinds of things. And then we have, our inner realms, the inner life, and that is what you find when you journey inward. And so those are things like feelings, perhaps thoughts, inspirations, but also other experiences. Like if you've ever meditated and had a really amazing experience, creativity is part of your inner world. When you get a creative idea or an inspiration. And the High Priestess is really encouraging you at the end of the week to explore this part of yourself. So a few ideas for doing this. Number one is journaling. So I just started a journaling practice where I just write whatever is on my mind or what's bothering me or questions I have. And then I wait to see what happens if the answer kind of comes to me. It's like I'm having a conversation with my soul or my higher self. Another thing that I associate the High Priestess with is examining your dreams and really exploring your dreams. Maybe keeping a dream journal and recording your dreams. I always record my dreams because even if it's a really powerful dream that I think I'm never going to forget, you always forget them. It's so weird. So I write my dreams down, and every now and then I read my dream journals and I look for repeating patterns and repeating themes and things that keep popping up. And it's really amazing when you start to do that. You start to really get some insight into your kind of inner psyche and what might be going on, what you're struggling with, and what's important to you. I feel like there's something else I want to say with the High Priestess. The High Priestess is about honoring this deep, mystical, sacred inner self that we all possess. But it's not just about honoring your own inner self. It's about seeing everyone as also possessing that sacred, deep, mystical inner self. Because everyone has it, even people who seem unlikable or people who seem shallow, even people we can't stand. We all have this amazing, infinite, deep inner self that the High Priestess is encouraging us to explore. And so I feel like the real message of the High Priestess, it's not just about exploring your inner worlds and paying attention to your dreams and things like that. It's also about recognizing the sacred within others. It's kind of the exact opposite of what's happening in the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords, we have almost like competition. Wanting to be right, stabbing others in the back, and all of that arises from fear. And I think also a disconnection from your inner self, your deeper self. And so I feel like those two cards stand almost in opposition to one another. The Five of Swords is about fear, separation, disconnection, and lack, perhaps. And the High Priestess is kind of the opposite. It's about recognizing that sacred part that exists within everyone. And then the Page of Cups is just this wide-eyed, fresh-faced, young character who is kind of bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. And he's just popped up right in the middle of the reading. And it's almost like he's raising a glass. And I feel like he represents the sort of almost childlike, playful side to us, the part of us that is curious, that wants to explore and engage and chart uncharted territory. So there's all these interesting themes that are happening this week. So I'm just going to take a step back here. And oh my goodness, I've been talking for 13 minutes. I just realized. Okay, so I just want to see if there's anything else I want to mention. I think I've said everything here. As always, I invite you to share your own ideas and your own thoughts on these cards. It looks like an interesting week, and I'm excited to see how it all plays out. So I want to say thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful, or at least enjoyable. And if you did, please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I post these videos every week. You can check out my website, dailytarotgirl.com. I'll put the link in the description box below this video. I've got tons of fun tarot learning resources for you to check out there. So thanks again for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful week.